Oh, it. I'm. It's unbelievable how easily you sheep are duped by a high school dropout. I mean, it's unfathomable considering he's unlikable. Everyone hated him at Stern. He's a high school dropout. His best friend is doing time for being a pedophile. The same friend that came up with the title of his show and his network. His producer now pulled a gun on a 77-year-old, got arrested, and got his ass kicked. But this is who you would rather believe, like this Chris Fike guy who was on the Puppet Show. Now, the whole problem and the whole narrative that you losers are missing is the following. When I said Shitware was my mole, we also said Brent Hatley was our mole. We also said JD Maya was our mole. We also said Mehmet was our mole. And that's a fact, Jack. And even Liquid Cryptid, who I'm not a fan of since he just steals my content, but even he played the clip where Royce and I said other people were our moles as well. It was obviously not directed at the shitware. It was obviously directed at getting Baba Booey and Howard to go crazy trying to see. But I knew they weren't even watching. They didn't care. They didn't know anything about it. So for the shitware to make this his narrative on why I'm such a piece of shit is such shitware. The only reason, okay, if I show you the DMs between me and Shitware, everything was fine with us after I said he was the mole. That's a fact, Jack. I have the receipts. It's all in our DMs. We were still communicating. In fact, I was trying to get him a gig. You don't believe me? Okay. I'll show him. I don't give a shit. We were tweeting each other way after I said he was a mole. So here we are. I could show this to you, I guess. And then on October 16th of 2019, I say, hey man, just wanted you to let know off the record that we were not targeting you. It could have been anybody sitting there. Jason Will, JD Mehmet. As I said to Ronnie, the guy needs his comeuppance. Not guys, I meant Howard Stern. Then I asked him to come on my show in 2021. And then I finally say, why are you trashing me? So we were fine. So for you guys to believe the nonsense that me and Roy saying that he was our mole was the impetus for him doing shows on me is a complete load of garbage. And that is why that guy Rick is an asshole. And that is why Shiet'S is a horrible documentarian. That's how you say it. But that is why this Chris Fike guy saying I'm a piece of shit. I didn't start this. That's a fact, Jack. And then they try and say, well, I interviewed him in the hotel lobby. Well, like I just read the DM, it could have been anybody. Those questions obviously weren't pointed at the shitware. The proof's in the pudding. They were generics, as we used to call them, goofing on Howard Stern and Baba Booey. That was it. Could have been anybody. Shitware just happened to be the dump that was sitting closest to the lobby. But it wasn't. Even in the interview, you said, come on. You hear me saying, come on, dude. I thought we were friends. You hear me saying that. Now, if I thought we weren't, why would I say that? But you guys can't handle the truth. This Chris Fike guy, this Shiet'S guy. You guys can't handle the fact that I didn't start this. And the only reason the shitware decided to do all these shows about me was because he wasn't making any money. And that has been documented. It has been. Lady K himself, he said, when Shitware asked me if he could do the same thing I was doing, I figured, why not? John's streaming every day. So there's plenty of John to go around. But then when I went away, he said, shit, now there's not plenty of John. But let me ask all you losers like Rick and the rest of the sheep here, what do I play Shitway clips on every show? Oh, wait. Is my show geared to the harassment of one individual? Oh, wait. Do I sit here and you say the same thing every single day about one person? Oh, wait. Shiet'S? Chris Fike? The answer is no. The answer is no. So who is the piece of shit here? Think about it. I don't need them. They need me. And that's a fact, Jack. When I was doing my show with Royce, how did this whole thing start? Lady K decided to include me in his review of podcasts, which I don't know how he has the right to review podcasts when he looks like this when he's broadcasting. But either way, he decided to go after Opie, me, and a bunch of other shows, but he focused on the two biggest whales, the Opster and me, because he knew if we responded, it would get him some clout to go on Pocky's show, that stupid failure of a compound media, and go on all that shit. And he can get some what he believes is fame. But when you know real fame like me, this shit is not fame. This is a small, pathetic universe that revolves around me. And without me, the universe is gone. It's not interesting anymore. I am what makes this interesting. And that's a fact, Jack. And you could hate me all you want for saying it, but it's the truth. I am the reason why this is interesting to anybody. When I leave, you all get upset. You don't realize it, though. That's the problem. Now, Shitware, he realizes it because he needs me. He's a parasite. just do it. He realizes it because he's another parasite. Hey, look, I'm going to try and say something funny. Hey, was that funny? Succotash. They need me. I don't need them. I have proven time and time again I could do interesting shows about anything. Seriously, about anything. They can't. They don't have the talent. Last night I did about 2 hours alone. Just me, looking at the camera and talking to you. Didn't have any guests because I don't need them. That's why I don't pay them. And then you have that weirdo, Vincent and Bessie, going on his other love besides KC, Tukey show, to compliment Chris Fike and kiss his ass for sending people deliveries, wasting food, wasting their time so they don't get paid. This is a lawyer that is applauding the behavior, the egregious, childish, ridiculous behavior of a grown man. How sad is that? And then Dwarf wants to say, well, John, you used to call deliveries. Yes. When me, Pat, and Danny were 10 years old and 11 years old, we would deliver to our own house and wait on the roof because we were juvenile delinquents. But we were kids. Vince, you are complimenting a grown man. You, another grown man, complimenting a grown man for wasting food, wasting people's time, and wasting people's money. And you're sitting there complimenting that behavior. And you are an officer of the court. You should be ashamed. Which is why I don't accept any of your deliveries. And I won't. I'm not encouraging the behavior. You, on the other hand, by going on Tukey's show, are encouraging the behavior. And then Chris Fike likes to say that I'm the piece of shit. Am I sending anyone deliveries? I'll wait. Do I do a show about one person? I'll wait. Do I try and make a ridiculous, obvious joke where we said 10 people were our moles and make that the reason for your relentless attack, cyberbullying, and harassment on one person who's way more successful than you? I'll wait. But on the piece of garbage, I'll wait. It is literally pathetic. And all of you losers in the pores, you condone the bullying of a little bald dwarf who dropped out of high school and declared bankruptcy. And this is who you choose to believe over a person that has worked in the industry for years and was beloved on the Stern Show and loved by the Tonight Show. But you don't, it's amazing how ridiculously stupid you are. It really is. Like, I almost feel bad for you. I had people, who were watching that stupid smear piece that Shiet'S did, which is all just the same nonsense all over again. And even where they try and say that 10 years ago, this is how far back we're going. 10 years ago, I was on Elisa Jordana's show, and they allege I was making fun of a mentally challenged person. Now, first of all, I did not know that person was mentally challenged, and that's a fact, Jack. I was half in the bag. I was smoking weed, and I didn't know. I really didn't. And no idea. But you will position it any way you want to make me look bad. But meanwhile, the shitware does his show and makes fun of the mentally challenged all the time. But that doesn't matter to you because you are allergic to the facts. You can't handle the truth. You would rather believe a bald little person and a guy that got his ass kicked by a 77-year-old who lives in a trailer. A single wide, not even a double wide. That's who you would rather believe, and a silent guy who faxes, and some fat wannabe comic who's an Uber Eats driver or whatever it is, DoorDash, whatever. You would rather believe them than look at the objective data and go, wait a second. John never started this. John's tried to get out of this twice. I went away for 8 months to teach children. An admirable profession. But you didn't stop, did you? Mm-mm. And then I went away again for another 8 months. And while I was away, the Shit Network decided to contact one of my guests, Ava Riza, and get her to befriend a member of my family to dig dirt on me. Yet I'm the piece of shit, right, Chris Fike? Oh, wait. Have I ever done that? Oh, really? What was the name of the lawyer, Revenge of Penis Wrinkle? You mean when he was trying to, when we learned he was asking interns for their panties? Allegedly? That's what, I mean, is that the conduct that's becoming of an employee? Oh, wait. There's 5. There's no twisting this. He brought receipts on cam. What receipts? I'll show the DMs between me and Shitware. Shitware, this is not about some kind of revenge. This is about this. And if you're too stupid, if you're such sheep that you don't believe that this is all about this, then I pity you. I think you're an idiot. All of this is about this. And guys like Revenge of Penis Wrinkle hiding behind an anonymous and Diz5 and Mr. Saw, all hiding behind anonymous. You're all cowards. And that's a fact, Jack. You're all cowards. The potato is a coward. Tukey is a coward. And you scum that decides to try and super chat me bullshit, hiding behind anonymous names, are keyboard warriors who have zero things going on in their lives. Why don't you put your real name, Revenge of Penis Wrinkle? If you're gonna chip at me as you, not as a fake name. I am Stuttering John Edward Melendez, a.k.a. the Duke. Born on October 4th, 1965. There. Born in Mineola. That's who I am. Who the fuck are you? I ain't afraid. I'm not a big pussy boy. Like you, revenge your penis wrinkle, you big pussy boy. Why don't you go by your real name? Huh? Barry Hawassa. Barry Hawassa. Let's go. Shiet'S, member for 6 months. I'm not even going to give you the trumpet because really, you made a one-sided piece of shit, bullshit, garbage documentary. You should be ashamed. You don't know how to make documentaries. When you make a good documentary, you show both sides. And if you wanted to come on this program, not with a disguise, not with a mask. Got it? Shiet'S, thanks a buck. So you were half in the bag. Your kid was with you. What are you talking about? Now what are you talking about? Maybe I wasn't half in the bag. I don't remember. But the one thing I do remember is I didn't know that person was mentally challenged. That's a fact, Jack. And I even said it on the show. Did you play that? Did you play where I go, oh, sorry, I didn't know? Because I didn't know. And no, I don't know if I was half in the bag. You tell me. I don't remember. It's 10 years ago. Shiet'S, Vegas Beer Sells Jerry didn't make a whole documentary, a one-sided smear piece against one innocent individual. You did. So stop comparing yourself to Vegas Beer Sells Jerry. You're the scumbag. He is not. Remember that. You're a piece of garbage with zero talent and a lot of free time.